Good morning. We are on our last 2 miles to the anchorage of Escudo de Veraguas, which is a beautiful Caribbean island. The wind has been in our nose for the last 5 hours, so we are wondering whether the anchorage is going to be a decent or whether it's going to be a roly-poly. But never mind, we are here and I'm sure we're going to enjoy it. Famous last words. Fishing, not much to report. I've been staring at this for the last 24 hours and no fish whatsoever. So you can't tell me I'm doing something wrong. It's clearly being overfished. Captain has just woken up. He's just ready for anchoring. So hopefully he's rested and full of positivity.
When is the captain not rested and full of positivity? Come on. Yeah, it's been great actually. Got to hand it to the first mate. He chose the perfect weather window for this passage. I take back everything I said about him in the last 24 hours. And it's been plain sailing. We did 95 miles of it, of our 125 under sail. So that's as good as we've ever had it here. Better, in fact. Good sign, I just spied on the binoculars behind me that there's another boat in the anchorage. So that means that it can't be too terrible, or they would have left, right?
And we seem to be anchored right in front of an indigenous village. So hopefully they're going to be a friendly bunch. Gonna say hello later when we rest up a bit. All I can think of now is just jumping into that water.
I'm sure they're going to be friendly towards the captain anyway, that's what matters. I'm not quite sure where they got those burning effigies of Pedro from so quickly. They're very organised, you've got to hand it to them.
See what I mean? Night shift, 25-hour passage, and the first mate is doing pancakes. Which is so good, isn't he? Be honest, that's the only food that I was thinking about for the last 20 hours. This is what kept me going. Nice coffee and pancakes for breakfast.
It's the only thing that kept the captain going as well. It's nice to have a reward from the first mate after all that sailing. Clearly he's where he wants to be, I can tell.
In the galley or on this island? I'm unclear. Because so far I haven't seen anything outside yet.
Galley, of course. I was talking about the galley.
Here we go. Breakfast of the champions. Waited for this last 20 hours.
Bon appetit.
Time to go and have a look around. There's supposed to be a beautiful estuary on the other side of the island. So we launched the dinghy and we're gonna check it out.
I need to get in that water pronto. It's getting like Mexico hot here now the wind has died down. But at least it makes for a beautiful calm anchorage. Can't have it all.
It is so beautiful that I'm celebrating with doing laundry.
It's not a chore, that's just how he relaxes.
We are truly back in the jungle territory. Such a contrast to the San Blas. You've got parrots and toucans and monkeys everywhere.
Yeah, just an overnight sail from San Blas, and the scenery has changed beyond recognition. That's what we love about Panama. It's got so much to offer in such a small space.
Absolutely wild and unspoiled island. You don't see that very often. Escudo is one of the best. Oh my god, it feels like we have died and have gone to heaven. This is literally the best quality water and the nicest beach we have seen since the beginning of our cruising adventure.
This is crystal clear water. It's amazing, and the beach is just deserted. No sign of human activity within miles.
Sal de tu nido, paloma linda, anda y prueba tu volar. No tengas miedo, mi palomita, que nada te va a pasar. Anda Anda y prueba tus alas bonitas sin que el temor te limite. Vuela paloma bien alto mi vida, no dudes que siempre amanece, ya amanecerá. Paloma linda, paloma, paloma linda, paloma, paloma linda, paloma, paloma linda. Cree en tu fuerza, paloma linda, el cielo te va a cuidar. Cuando no salga el sol, mi paloma, tu propia luz te va a guiar. Anda y prueba tus alas bonitas sin que el temor te
Literally, hands up, this is the most beautiful place I have ever been to. There's no other. Forget San Blas. Escudo de Veraguas on a calm day, it is.
I had no idea we'd find all this waiting for us. I'm so glad we took the dinghy to explore this time around. Wow.
See what happens when you've got bigger dinghy? This. And we are the only people here. Love it. There you go, it's official. This is mine. First man on a beach claims the prize.
Second man on the beach secures the dinghy. Yeah, I know the drill by now.
No tengas miedo, mi palomita, que nada te va a pasar. Anda y
Only a few miles from Bocas del Toro, and look at this. We should have come here sooner.
Well, this view speaks for itself. I wonder how many supplies we got in the dinghy. We can make it last a few nights on here.
ya amanecerá, linda paloma, paloma, paloma linda.
I suppose I should help.
Paloma linda, paloma, paloma linda.
Oh, it's so nice to be walking after all this 20 plus hours at sea. Really lovely. I do miss being off the boat sometimes. We've counted it and we haven't properly exercised now for 5 days. So some swimming lessons and running on the beach will be in order later on.
Speak for yourself. I'll be practicing my bicep curls with the cocktail glass later on.
Sin miedo.
Well, that was a bumpy ride, let me tell you that. And not in a good way. We got woken up probably around 1 a.m. with a massive thud. And we presume that the anchor is stuck somewhere on the rock, or it was stuck on a rock and it just lodged itself free. We don't know. So Tommy's gonna jump in and investigate, because today we want to leave. There's a bit of a weather system coming in. So since midnight, it's been a rock and roll on the boat, let me tell you.
Yeah, that's definitely the problem with these paradise islands. It seems they're only paradise because they're either hard to get to or quite inhospitable once you get there. And this one is a little bit of both. We've really rarely had a comfortable night's sleep on Escudo. But last night was the worst. We got woke up with a real thud, and I just don't want any surprises when we come to raise the anchor when we're leaving. So if the chain is caught under a rock or lodged under something, I want to know which way to steer the boat to get it out, rather than trying to second guess with Peter bouncing around on the bow in this swell.
Because apparently that's what I do nowadays. I just bounce around on the bow. Can you hear how he speaks to me in public?
Well, that is what he does. You've seen it. In fact, you'll see him doing it in about half an hour's time when we leave. I don't know how else to describe it. He does it very well though, bless him.
At least I'm not bouncing on the stern.
It is a bit bouncy today. Definitely time to leave.
Me, always at the front. We still don't have a GoPro that can go underwater. Sorry, dear viewers, we're not gonna record what it looks like down there because the last GoPro has died underwater. So not until next season.
That was the last anchoring disaster. You'll just have to imagine what it looks like. It's a lot like this, but more wet. Wish me luck. Yeah, it looks okay. Big rock, but very smooth. So it's just grating on it. We should be able to get it up. Let me check the rest.
So he was right. Here I am, bouncing on the bow.
I think the captain's earned his breakfast this morning. Yeah, it looks okay. It's a big rock, but it's very smooth. And the chain is just grating against it, so there's nothing that it's going to get stuck under. Should be fine when we're leaving. So that's definitely caused the thud that we heard in the night, just the chain scraping and getting caught on the edge of that rock. But there's nothing down there that's going to stop us lifting the anchor when we come to leave. Oh, and look, the first mate's doing what he does best, bouncing around on the bow.
I am indeed. Look at me. Love it.
There's only one thing he loves more than bouncing on the bow, and that's having his feet up on the teak.
It's coming up later on. There we go. It's roly-poly, it's like breakfast on the high seas. Quick breakfast and then we go on away. My teak is waiting. Enjoy. It's omelette a la Pedro.
Looks very tasty, I have to say. I think the boat rocking around like crazy really whisked those eggs up good down there. Have to do it more often. How is it?
Delicious. We are on our role reversal again. It's one of my aims this season to become more comfortable again with the boat handling. It's crazy how many times over the 4 years you just go into your little pigeonhole and you just keep doing the same thing you've always been doing, and you kind of have your own tasks. So it's really important that we start reversing more and doing the stuff that the other person has been doing for the last 4 years, including docking. So there's something to look forward to on my side. God help me. I used to dock really well, but I haven't docked now for, Jesus, probably 2.5 years. So that will be interesting. There you go, all done. I think we've got a new captain in the making here. A new first mate. How was it, first mate?
All in a day's work. I don't know what he's complaining around. Just a bit of bouncing on the bow and we're all done. Plain sailing, really.
Okay, let's get the main out.
Need to wash my hands first.
This captain is on the roll today, bearing away.
This captain had better start looking for new jobs, I think. Not much call for someone who just eats on board, is there? Wait till he figures out how easy it really is.
I think I got the gist. Standing behind the wheel, turning the wheel, pressing the buttons, shouting commands, and eating a lot.
And this one's always been good at pushing the buttons, let's face it. 14 years of marriage helps with that one, doesn't it?
Alright, enough of that, let's get the Genoa out.
Genoa? Who do you think he is?
With 300 unspoilt islands,
flat seas and dependable trade winds, Panama's San Blas Islands are a true paradise and the ideal tropical sailing destination. Now you can join us here for a week on board Bohemia as we show you the best cruising that the Caribbean has to offer. Learn the ropes of sailing, catch a fish for dinner, or take in the sunset while the first mate mixes the drinks. You decide. Check out our website for information, dates and availability, late 2023 going into 2024. See you in paradise!